You ever stumble into your own garage at 2 in the morning, barely awake, only to find some stranger's SUV perfectly parked where your car should be? Yeah, that happened, she really screamed. It's community property now, like she owned the joint. And let me tell you, nothing quite gets the blood pumping like realizing you're the trespasser in your own house, standing there in your pajamas, hands shaking, wondering if this is some prank or if you're officially losing your mind. But this wasn't random. Oh no, it felt calculated, like someone thought I'd be too scared or too stupid to push back. And the wildest part, she acted like I should thank her for it. I did what any halfway sane person would do. I pulled out my phone and started snapping pictures. There it was, an SUV dead center between the lines, cup holders loaded up with a coffee mug printed with our HOA's logo business cards for community management services scattered on the seat. Whoever did this didn't just park for a quick getaway. This was their regular spot, like my garage was just another parking stall in some HOA lot. The kicker. The emergency override display on my keypad was blinking a message I'd never seen before in 3 years living here. Somebody had used the override key, not busted the door, not jimmied the lock, but used emergency protocols. Stuff I'd never signed up for, never gave a single neighbor access to. That's when my mind really started spinning. Sarah, half awake upstairs, mumbled about checking the locks again. I told her it was just garage stuff, trying to keep her from worrying, but inside, I was already on high alert. I started recording everything, license plates, photos of the lockbox with fresh scratches, even notes about the fluorescent powder I dusted on the edges for security. Yeah, maybe a little overboard, but that powder showed clear transfer marks. Someone had been here recently, and they used that override key, not some random break-in. I spent the next hour digging through my homeowner docs, cross-referencing every HOA policy, looking for a single mention of emergency override access for private garages. Nothing. The more I dug, the weirder it got. My garage opener log showed late-night openings when my car was in the driveway, even entries while Sarah and I were out of town. Oil stains that didn't match my car. Somebody had been making themselves at home maybe for weeks. By 3:30 a.m., I had every detail logged. The plates Monica Wells, lives 4 blocks over, HOA president naturally. She gotten tickets for illegal parking all over town, always with some excuse about emergencies. Classic. That morning, after barely a wink of sleep, I laid it all out for Sarah over coffee. Her face shifted from confusion to straight-up offense. So someone just decided your garage was community property. Pretty much. That's exactly how it felt. Security cam footage sealed it. Monica had visited during the day, always when we were at work, spending time fussing with the lockbox, checking lines of sight, acting like she was running some covert op. And always within a day of us leaving town. She was tracking our schedule, timing her visits for maximum privacy. If that doesn't send a chill down your spine, nothing will. Right on cue, Monica showed up at my front door, clipboard in hand-fake smile dialed up to 11. Good morning, Tyler. I'm here about the routine safety inspection from last night. Routine safety inspection, she says, like I just scheduled this. She starts humming, flipping through her important documents. Oh, it's all part of our volunteer emergency access program, she claimed. Every participant gets safety checks. Only funny enough, I never volunteered for any program, and she couldn't produce a single scrap of legitimate paperwork. I pressed her for documentation. She promised to check with the coordinator about copies hiding behind community privacy policies. It was all smoke and mirrors, and I could tell she'd given this speech before. After she left, I phoned the fire department and my insurance company. You know what they said? Legitimate emergency access requires written consent, city permits, regular audits, none of which our HOA ever bothered with. If Monica was operating her own emergency program, she was flying solo, and illegally too. That night I installed new cameras and reset my garage codes, but the evidence kept piling up. The next day, A fat envelope landed on my doorstep. Emergency Entry Volunteer Program Confirmation, with my name typed up top, and a signature that was supposed to be mine, only it wasn't. Sarah caught it instantly. "You always connect your double O's. Look at this. It's not you." It's a strange feeling seeing your name forged, knowing someone went through all that trouble just to justify snooping through your life. So I called Monica. She acted thrilled. I'd gotten the paperwork, brushed off the forgery as a clerical error said. Sometimes residents forget what they've signed during the move-in process. She didn't even bother pretending it wasn't fishy. From that point, penalties started rolling in. First, a $250 fine for garage door maintenance issues. Photos taken from inside my garage, meaning she'd been back. Then another for exterior lighting deficiencies, complete with more photos. And wouldn't you know, none of my neighbors got these tickets, only the folks who didn't quite fit Monica's idea of community harmony. Talking to neighbors, it became clear she targeted certain families while letting others skate by with obvious violations. This was personal. It was about power, not rules. A pattern emerged. Those who didn't match Monica's ideal resident got more violations, more threats, more fines. Jennifer down the street got citations for lawn violations that weren't there, but the house with actual knee-high grass. Not a word. Another neighbor got tickets for architectural changes installed by the builder. All the paperwork, all the complaints traced back to Monica, who hid behind bureaucratic phrases like cultural fit and community standards. I started logging everything, compiling letters, comparing notes. With Jennifer and a few others, we realized we weren't alone. My insurance company confirmed emergency access without real permission voids your coverage. Worse, unauthorized work on security systems could be criminal trespassing, maybe even burglary. So I requested a formal inspection. Fire Inspector Davis showed up, clipboard in hand, and started digging through my garage system. He found a relay installed by someone who clearly wasn't a pro, designed to override security, a ticking time bomb. Not only was it illegal, it could have started a fire or jammed the door in an emergency. Turns out 7 other homes had the same hack job. Same relay, same sloppy wiring, all installed without permits or licensed contractors. When Davis checked FCC interference, he found those gadgets could mess with medical devices and even block emergency radios. We were all living with real safety hazards, all thanks to Monica's safety program. Official violation notices hit the HOA like a tidal wave. $29,000 in fines growing by the day as more homes turned up rigged. The next community meeting was packed. Monica stood up, tried her best to sound in control, spinning the whole mess as a misunderstanding. Residents hammered her with questions. Why were signatures forged? Why were certain families singled out? Why did nobody get real notice before their homes got modified? She had no answers, just excuses and more privacy policy talk. Then, as if on cue, anonymous flyers started appearing around the neighborhood calling me a troublemaker, painting Jennifer and me as agitators out to ruin unity. Social media posts went up. Neighbors who once helped stopped answering calls. Some even dropped out of our evidence project, afraid of legal blowback. Monica escalated by sending legal threats, even calling my boss trying to get me fired. Her playbook was intimidation. If she couldn't win with rules, she'd win with fear. But here's the thing desperation shows. She accused me and then Jennifer of harassment, filed a formal complaint with the HOA board, had character witnesses lined up to testify we were the problem. But the board finally couldn't ignore the mountain of evidence. We had city inspectors, a data analyst neighbor crunching violation stats, a cybersecurity expert tracing surveillance and contractors, who proved the modifications were illegal and dangerous. The big twist, Monica called the police during the hearing, claiming I was threatening her. The irony. I'm the police chief. The officers walked in, took one look at the evidence and at me, and realized instantly what was going on. Monica's plan. Her last card collapsed. Her face went white as a sheet. The officer said, "Chief Brooks, we weren't expecting to find you here." Yeah, neither was Monica. From there, everything unraveled. The city and county got involved. The district attorney's office reviewed the evidence, unauthorized entries, forged documents, clear discrimination. The board suspended Monica, hired outside counsel, and started real reforms. Monica's final defense. She claimed she was just protecting property values and community harmony. The judge disagreed, sentenced her to a year of supervised probation, civil rights education, and restitution for the families she'd targeted. Her real estate license suspended, her control gone. In the aftermath, the HOA got new leadership, transparency rules, and mandatory oversight. Property values actually went up. And best of all, we tore out every last piece of Monica's illegal hardware, making our homes our own again. Looking back, her biggest mistake wasn't the technical violations, it was thinking she could bully everyone into silence, that authority meant permission to cross any line. So here's my question, was justice served, or did Monica get off too easy? Drop your thoughts below. If you've ever tangled with an HOA or fought for what's right, let's hear your story. And hey, if you want to keep these stories rolling, hit that little thanks button. Until next time, keep your walls strong, your locks tighter, and don't ever let anyone tell you your home is community property.